A little while ago, I set myself the target of catching every shiny Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet, and it took months to complete. But Nintendo said you're not done yet and released a 2-part DLC including over 400 more Pokemon. So I'd better get a move on if I want to keep my Generation 9 living shiny decks up to date. Now, because we've already finished the regional decks for Gen 9, we already have a shiny charm, meaning that we start with odds of 1 in 1,365, and we don't have to play any of the story in order to start shiny hunting. In fact, I refuse to walk further than this bus stop until I've caught one of my favorite shiny Pokemon from Generation 3, Poochyena. Something to consider here is that the levels of the wild Pokemon in Kitakami are scaled to match the stage of the game we're at. This means that instead of Tackle, some of them might have moves like Takedown, which would put us at risk of losing our shiny to recoil damage if we use False Swipe. Noted. Noted. This thing has Takedown. Okay, cool. All right. You know what? I remembered that the Pooch learns Takedown. Very glad that I thought to check it because that was... Wait. Let's go! Oh my god. Come over here. Come over here. Come over here, bud. Come over here. Sit in the sunshine. Wait, no way. Wait, no way. Wait, no way. Oh my god. 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 In true bus fashion, I had hunted for ages with nothing and then found 2 dogs in 2 minutes. On the map in Paldea, you can get Pokemon outbreaks. By defeating up to 60 in these outbreaks, you can improve your shiny odds from 1 in 1,365 all the way to 1 in 820. These outbreaks still happen in Kitakami, and one of them happened to be exactly where you first gain control of your character in the DLC. It would have been stupid not to get a shiny Spinarak, right? After finally moving past the bus stop and almost losing my first fight in the story, I decided to do what anybody else would. Play the story? No, are you crazy? I gotta know what I'm gonna be dealing with in this challenge. It's time to explore the map. And while exploring, I managed to stumble across Jangmo-o, which is a crazy color palette for a shiny, and the heart having a metal texture makes it one of the biggest glow-ups so far. We also caught the molten metal that is Shiny Slugma, and while I was turning the corner inside a mountain cave, we also bumped into a yellow Piloswine. Shiny number 7 of day 1 raised an important question. What do we do about returning Pokemon? There's 2 ways we can look at this. Number 1, we can ignore all of the returning Pokemon from Paldea. That would cut the amount of Pokemon we need almost in half and save us a lot of time. Number 2, we can consider the Pokédex for the DLC its own separate thing with 195 entries, which will give us way more to do but will be 100% completion. I decided to catch the Impidimp. 195, here we come. A lot of you will think that this is a waste of time, but having a living dex in every game and each DLC means we can go for some big challenges further down the line. Sandshrew, Growlithe, and Seedot rounded out day 1, and in a weird coincidence, our first full day shiny hunting with the charm in Kitakami had the same amount of shinies as our first charm day in Paldea. A problem I'm having with this shiny living dex is the huge amount of choice for what to go for next. So on day 2, I decided to hunt whatever seemed fun. Poltergeist was introduced as a convergent form of Sinistea, and after spending hours looking for it, I finally caught a Bellsprout. Still new, but not what I wanted, and because the Ice Train wasn't worth it, I headed out to an outbreak and quickly ticked off both Mienfoo and Mienshao, 2 Pokemon I'd never seen shiny before that moved straight into the S tier. I even managed to catch a coughing, spewing purple gas on the way up to the crystal pool too. So feeling confident, I headed back to the bamboo patch to get our matcha latte, and it turns out it was really worth it. In the base game of Scarlet and Violet, how can I put this nicely? There's a lot of things that didn't work properly. Among many other things, outbreaks would only spawn the first form that appeared in the Pokédex. This was fixed with the launch of the DLC, and one of the forms that can now appear is Artisan Poltergeist. Unfortunately for me though, I only found this out when I went to evolve it much later on, so I didn't get 2 of them. But this is technically one of the hardest shinies in Kitakami, so it was crazy to get it on day 2. There's a Snorlax in Kitakami that spawns in front of a cave, and it could be hunted like the Spiritomb finale we had in Paldea. But for now, from a Munchlax outbreak, I managed to get a new shiny, and then I got my favorite regional bird as well. Pokemon spawn behind you as you walk in this game, which makes it impossible to know if you're failing a shiny. But a comment in Twitch chat saved me from that exact fate. Orthworm says hello. Honestly, I wish it didn't. That was a wild one. That was an actually wild one. Do you get scared and run away? No? Oh, you just look at us? Oh, that would be a cool way to find the... You have to be kidding me. Oh my god. I only saw this worm because I turned around to look at the other worm. I do stream all of my shiny hunting on my Twitch channel, so you should check it out if you're enjoying the video. Out of Johto, Wooper, and Paldean Wooper, I'd say that I prefer the shiny for the OG, but what about you? I've never played Gen 5, and with the DLC in Scarlet and Violet, that's quickly becoming an issue because there are a lot of Gen 5 Pokemon here that I've never seen the shiny for before. And just look at how good some of them are. Now, I've found catching the last 2 pink Pokemon way more fun than the outbreaks I've been sat at so far, so it's time to start making some sandwiches. Just like in Paldea, I'm not going to be using Sparkle Power in Kitakami, and almost instantly got reassured that I'm not gonna need it when Lotad showed up before the end of the day. After a quick Geodude, which looks incredible in Scarlet Violet, I had a chance to talk about the opportunity for some new forms to be picked up in the DLC. Is this a different Indeedee to the one that I get in the base game? Do we have opposite Indeedees here? I think we do, don't we? Yeah. Wait, that's just a shiny one. Wait a second. I've never caught shiny Phantom before, and it's not for a lack of trying. In Pokemon Sword and Shield, I spent over 10,000 encounters in the Glimwood Tangle searching for that little ghost tree. I even went as far as to set up the hunt properly using Harvest to boost my chances for grass encounters. But there's a problem with that. At the time of recording, I have 15,000 encounters and 6 shiny Shiinotic to show for it. No, not again. But today, I finally caught my gray tree. I'm still gonna want to get one in Sword and Shield though. And speaking of gray, Slugma, don't say it, you're better than that, has the perfect camouflage for the area it exists in. Even though I can see the crazy ones, mine was silhouetted against the lighter stone, making it easier to see. We wouldn't have had any trouble seeing Magcargo though, that thing is pink. Just got a shiny Iron Moth. Let's go. Congratulations. You've been hunting it for a few months. Really? Wow. Don't say the color. Thank you. That's my next target. What's this? Salandit. Oh, Salandit's noticeable. Yes, you'll see it. Yes, you will see that one. Wait. Wait a second. Wait a second. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay, that's a shiny Fomantis. Let's go. Speaking of things that we'll see. If I hadn't accidentally run into the normal Fomantis there, I would have never seen the shiny. And by contrast, this clip shows how I would have missed one if I took too long to read. 18 in Europe. What's this for? I missed it. Oh, we hit 21. We all wish we'd stop. Oh, hey. I was looking away from the screen. Oh, my God. Oh my god, I just wasn't even looking at the screen. A shiny Noibat. Oh my god, this is crazy. I'm still very firmly of the opinion that somewhere in the Game Freak offices is an evil genius who color grabbed from shiny Pokemon when designing the overworld. Because why does Swaddle blend in so well? Swadloon, on the other hand, wow. I hope Leavanny is as good as this. In the Paldea video, I teased my best shiny spot ever. This is it. This is the best spot I will ever make. I've heard a lot of people complaining about that. Let's see if this is Tandemaus Central. It's looking kind of good so far. Wait, is that one shiny? It is. Oh my god. I saw it. I saw it. I saw it. I'm so proud of myself. I'm so proud of myself. That was so far. I saw that. Oh my god. Let's go. The second Tandemaus wasn't as good, but at least for once I'm not being self-destructive and leading the hard shinies like White Stripe Basculin until the end. Right? Right? Something great about the DLC is that it added a new evolution for Applin. Usually I don't evolve Pokemon straight away just in case I see a shiny of the evolution, but seeing as you can only get Dipplin at 1 in 4,103 in raid dens, I evolved Applin and I loved the color scheme for shiny Dipplin. Fun fact, Dipplin is one of the only Pokemon that has its move change color depending on whether it's shiny or not. I love these little pieces of attention to detail. It's that kind of stuff that gives me hope for PLZA. Next up, I found a perfect spot to picnic reset for Carbink, which is a criminally underrated shiny, and caught a sticky mango crotch, which is a long story, before inflating my ego with another unreal spot for Poliwag, but not in the other area. Very, very interesting. Is that a shiny Poliwag? I am too good at this game! I'm telling you right now, I am too good at this game. You tell me if you could see that. Lombre continued to add to what was already an S-tier evolution line with a wild combination of colors before I evolved a second Seedot into its ruby counterpart. Remember the attention to detail with Dipplin? Well, since Pokemon Legends Arceus, Nosepass has always faced north by default, just like a compass. So far, everything has been plain sailing, but this hard-to-see Starly was a herald that things were about to change. The day-night cycle was first introduced way back in Generation 2, where it followed the real time of day, at least according to how you set it. That means that because I never woke up early and I didn't know how to use Headbutt, I had no idea who this was until Generation 6 Friend Safari. Even though this problem isn't as bad in Scarlet Violet, a full day-night cycle still takes 72 minutes. All this to say, I've been looking for my favorite regional bird almost every night since day one, and she finally came home! The next Pokemon I caught, also affected by the time, but exclusive to the day instead, and the one after that? That's right, we're back to night-only spawns. Shiny Bombardier bridged the gap before the night rolled in again, but this one was extra special to me. My first shiny in Paldea way back in November 2021 was Annihilate, and Kitakami lets you hunt them fully evolved. Like, look at them, man. That one's tiny. This one looks shiny. Is it? Is it? By the end of this video, you'll probably hate this river because it's the best spot I could find to isolate a whole horde of shiny Pokemon. And oh boy, you guessed it. This one in particular is a nighttime exclusive. Shiny Illumise. Illumise? Who cares? It doesn't matter how you pronounce it. One of my favorite things about only using Encounter Power 2 sandwiches and not Encounter Power 3 that come with most Sparkle recipes is that there's always room for a shiny you're not expecting. Kitakami has a pond that introduces the chance for a level 100 wild Pokemon for the first time since Generation 5. And while hunting for a shiny Dreadnought... Oh my god, no shot. Please be level 100. Please be level 100. No, so close! Nah, I'm not that lucky. But if you'd like to see me hunt this, let me know on Twitter. I am lucky enough though that as I left the pond, I managed to stumble into my shiny Dreadnought too. This Sentra is being hunted because I love any excuse to play the Accumula Town music, and with the second one caught and evolved... If I don't keep working on the time-sensitive Pokemon now, there's going to be 30-minute periods at the end of the challenge where I just have to sit and wait. And who would plan a dex that badly, huh? So very quickly, we're back to the river, and oh look, there's Volbeat! Duskull is another Pokemon that spawns exclusively at night, and the color in this game is so good. I really wasn't kidding around with this section title, so here are 3 more daytime exclusive Pokemon. It's only when you see them all back to back like this that you realize how many Pokemon can be locked behind something you can't change in this game. And one of the many reasons PLA is my favorite game is that it allows you to change the time. That Yanma, by the way, literally the second spawn after fast traveling. And then after a quick appearance by Pitbull and Kesha, I caught 2 Spoinks spawning 5 minutes apart in a picnic, helping to reduce the number of Pokemon returning from Paldea that we need. We also managed to follow up with one of my favorite Pokemon of all time just 20 minutes after that too. This DLC had me really wanting a Alolan Vulpix make an appearance in Gen 9. You may have caught me earlier saying it doesn't matter how you pronounce a Pokemon's name. Well, I'm gonna have to backtrack on that. You see, I had a friend in high school who pronounced this Pokemon in a very interesting way. He called it Ludicolo. Yep. Moving swiftly on with the Toedscruel, I decided to try and catch a shiny Feebas in the only place that it spawns without the outbreak, until I had phased on Barboach enough times to leave, and, well, so, we're all good. Hey, what's up, Basement? How you doing? What is it? What is it? Wait, hey! Whoa, 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 whoa! Hang on a second, he just peeked around the corner! I really like looking down this corridor and being like, are any of those like three? Wait, was that a shiny Cleffa? What if it's despawned because I couldn't get over the ledge? I couldn't tell. Is it a shiny Cleffa? I can't tell. I can't. It is a shiny Cleffa. Oh my god. Wait, I can't get to you. Cleffa, come here. Cleffa, come here. Cleffa, come here. Let's go! Is that a shiny Barboach? Let's go! This all happened in 15 minutes, so no bass today. Once more, back to time-sensitive hunts, but I promise you'll get a new segment soon. For now, though, Ducklet for Swanna is the target. Are you gonna be shiny? Oh, wait, is it? No, it's not. Wait, was it just the grass there? I couldn't tell. Is that shiny? Bellsprout for Weeping Bell was up next, and another nighttime spawn very nearly ran off screen to despawn, but I reacted fast enough to catch it and evolve it, before making yet another pitch for Shiny Spot of the Year. Yo, buddy, you should have despawned. All right, pal. Oh my god, there's so many Dynamo here right now. Wait, is that one shiny? There's no way that one's shiny. There's no way that one there is shiny. I saw it. I actually saw it. Shiny number 69 was a returning Pokemon in a new form which I might actually like more than the fire one. And our last two shinies of the segment were both Duskull to evolve into Dusclops and Dusknoir, bringing an end to Time's reign of terror. You can probably already tell I'm losing my mind because I'm shiny hunting a living dex, and not just the dex, but a living dex with all the Pokemon we already caught in Paldea, but that's not what I'm talking about. Kitakami has one piece of music. Just one. You might not spot it at first. The song is good, but it starts to bring itself out from the background the more you listen to it. It repeats over and over again, no matter where you go, no matter what shinies you catch, no matter how close they are, and it gets even worse when the shinies are small and covered by grass or simply just next to impossible to see. And to add to losing my mind, I'm currently trying to reset outbreaks for Feebas. Just like in Paldea, there are a few outbreaks in Kitakami that will really help to speed up the challenge, but they are rare. Every day I'm spending 30 minutes resetting, and then I just get too bored and have to do some more shiny hunting. Day 1 I got bored and caught a Rockruff to finish the evolution line. I don't yet have a Dusk Lycanroc, and I'm not going to do a form dex, but there's a chance I'll come back to get it in the future. This Rockruff spawn was actually found while I was picnic resetting a Corphish outbreak. When I was a kid, I wasn't very smart. I'm still not now. We've already established that. And it took me months to find this Pokemon in Ruby version. I simply never thought to go fishing in the towns. Seeing all of the shinies years later really makes me want to go back to Gen 3 and do a shiny badge quest in the future. Picnic resets are going to be the main bulk of this dex as we move through it, and finding the optimal place to see the most spawns is very important. Let's find the spot to do this reset, shall we? I'm thinking about here. Is probably where we should do it. Like stand. Okay, never mind. We'll take it. Back to losing my mind though. I still much prefer popping an encounter 2 sandwich and just roaming around an area for a specific Pokemon like Grubbin here for Charjabug. And the next 2 shinies proved that. Bonsly and Sudowoodo took 8 hours. All I was doing was standing still, looking in a circle, opening my menu, and then closing a picnic. I did a little bit of maths, and it means I probably put down just under 1,000 picnic tables. I'm wasting my life. Never mind. Houndour was the exact opposite. Literally only 8 minutes for both. I'm doing fine, by the way. After a quick Nuzleaf to evolve into Shiftry, I decided to start a new challenge within a challenge. An event was running here that gave Clefairy an added chance to have a specific mark, and I thought to myself, what about I caught a shiny with every mark in Scarlet Violet? Yeah, no. I caught 2 of these Clefairy and neither of them had the mark, and on top of that, they took a whole day of streaming, so I decided against it. Maybe that's an idea for another time, though. Swaddle, 7 out of 10. Swadloon, 9 out of 10. Surely Leavanny is just as good? It's disappointing compared to the rest of the line. Well, at least coughing to evolve into wheezing isn't a letdown, and with the rest of the poison sandwich, I literally never want to see another Clefairy again. Okay, here we are. Oni's more. So, if we walked up and down here, maybe we can find a Salandit. This could work. I think the... Okay, that works. Be a female. Come on. Do it. God damn it. God damn it. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. We'll take it. We'll take it. Here's another key part of what made me lose my mind during this section of the decks. After hours of resetting over days, a natural Feebas outbreak at the start of the day without me even looking. Actually, you know what? Maybe it was good because RNG progresses differently as you do different button inputs, so it was all needed so that day when I loaded up the game, it was just going to be there. We'll get to the outbreak in a second, though. First of all, did you know the Nintendo Switch has a zoom feature? No? Well, if you go into your settings, you can toggle it so that double pressing the home button will zoom in on the screen. It's really helpful for some of the harder shinies to see if you want to keep your picnic spot. It's also easy to lose your bearings. Not like it'll be gone forever. Where is this camera now? What? Oh, there we go. Is it a 3-segment Dunsparce? You're gonna have to wait until we catch the next one to find out. I've not got time for that. We've got a Feebas to get. The first one didn't take long at all and is genuinely such a great shiny. The second one, though, there is a shiny one over there, right? No? Yeah, it's in another one, though, right? I can't tell. What happened? Did you guys see that? Yeah, there's a shiny one there, right? Like 100% there is a shiny one in this Feebas right in front of us. Do you guys see that? There's a purple one in there. There absolutely is. It's very laggy right now, but I am about to reveal to you a shiny Feebas. There you go. There is our shiny Feebas. Let's get it. I think that was a good spot. Just as a side note, I think that was an incredibly good spot because that was so difficult. They're in the walls. They're in... Wait, no, I shouldn't shout they're in each other. I shouldn't shout that. After that mess, I headed to a Quagsire outbreak where I almost got tricked by shiny Quagsire's natural camouflage. Oh, I'm so excited for an overworld Quagsire. Wait, hang on a second. I am excited for an overworld Quagsire. There's one right there. Hang on a minute. Wait, I thought that was just our Vaporeon. Let me at it. Oh my god, come here, buddy, please. Let's go. Oh my god, I love it so much. Because my mind is already lost, I settled in for a hunt that wouldn't be difficult in most games, but in Scarlet Violet, it's one of the hardest there is. Poliwag. You know what? I'm gonna say it. It's a lighting issue. I miss Pokemon Legends Arceus. I miss the sparkles and Let's Go Pikachu Eevee. Bring back a sound. But wait. We are a quarter of the way to releasing the shiny decks. Yeah, 1/4, 25%. That one is shiny, right? That one's shiny. I told you I would know it instantly. It's just crazy. Okay, I'm unhinged. And the second one was somehow even better because the lighting at night made it worse. Due was to send their community to make your life worse, huh? Wouldn't that be a shame? And I'm like, What's going on? Why does this one look shiny? Is it? It's the same thing again. That one could be. It's probably not, but that one could be. It is, right? That one is shiny. Let's go! How would you guys like to see the overworld shiny mechanics, by the way? And Pokemon Legends Arceus shiny decks? Let's Go Pikachu living shiny decks? Let me know in the comments. A quick ground sandwich gave us Mudbray and Sandshrew to evolve into the incredible shiny that is Sandslash. And you know what? I'm leaving my mind behind in the first half of the decks. Reaching the halfway point of these challenges also gives me a new burst of energy. Bisharp, Ekans, Litwick to evolve into the S tier shiny Chandelure, zoomed by, and I caught another shiny Spinarak to evolve into Ariados. Shiny Heracross is great, but I'm always going to use it as an excuse to show off my shiny Alpha one from my Pokemon Legends Arceus playthrough. Just like Annihilate, Gengar spawns in the overworld in Kitakami. I think I'm good at spotting shiny Pokemon, and you, yes you, think that Gengar is a bad shiny. So do you think I'll be able to spot it? Well, to prepare, I decided to catch both Ghastly and Haunter, so that Gengar would complete the line, and, well, you wonder how far the 618 channel will go. Again, Wynham, it might not be a legitimate victory. You gotta remember that people sometimes delete messages and stuff, and it gets missed by everyone playing. But yeah, we've got to have a mod verify you. So, that's it, right? That's the shiny? That's absolutely the shiny? I don't know. It just seems wrong. It seems wrong. That's the shiny. Yeah, easy. Absolutely easy. Absolutely easy. Let's go. While all that was happening, you'll have noticed some jumps in the total in the top right. That's because I also found Shinx, which as expected stood out very clearly from the normal ones, and Vullaby that surprisingly did the same. Then midway through hunting Ghastly, I managed to spot a shiny Timber, which we quickly evolved into Gerda. Not that good, is it, really? I also followed that up with our second Vulpix, which allowed me to get one of my favorite shinies of all time. And then while taking a long walked route to the Gengar outbreak, I also managed to catch a shiny Swinub. But that's not all. The Ducklet line very quickly became a surprise favorite for me with this DLC, and I really don't think we have enough purple shinies, so I was over the moon to see Swanna. In the base game, we got a rare mark Gyarados, 1 in 1.3 million, and in the DLC, this Mimikyu... Chat, if this is a mark that is a rare mark, we could use it for our marks video. We could use it for the mark video. So what is it? We've got... Listen to me still talking about the cancelled marks video. I had such big ideas. The last of the gap to Gengar was filling in some more of the returning Paldea decks in Squover and 2 Pikachus, and I carried on that theme with a Noibat to evolve into Noivern 2. I genuinely love the ancient power evolutions in Pokemon, and I was sad to see that the only one that didn't make it into Kitakami was Tangrowth, but Shiny Yanmega is still just as good as ever. I'm not gonna lie though, at this point the region started to feel stale again, and the methods we were using meant we would spend a lot of time in only 3 different sections of the map. And even though I'm finding a lot of shiny Pokemon to add to the decks, including some that have their own bodyguards and tried to escape while I wasn't being led in the club, this was the part of the challenge where the repetition nearly got the best of me, and I was the closest I would be to being bored. Also, bring back linking cables, please. After yet another hunt running in circles for more Peko, I decided it was time to start getting creative. My favorite thing about shiny hunting in Generation 9 is the creative solutions you can come up with to find certain Pokemon. This Swinub, I found a cave where only Swinub spawn, and then found the exact corner you need to stand in so you can get consistent spawns, and I was instantly rewarded. I do wish Mamoswine was a bit more vibrant though. Next up, me and Mankey spotted each other from across the room, but just for a second, weren't quite sure we recognized each other, so waited before running over to say hi. And then I found out why everyone had been telling me to hunt Vikavolt this whole time, because oh my god, what an incredible shiny, and the way it shines with the texture in the game. And then a Pawniard hid behind a tree, just like the Petalil you're about to see, but this Petalil made me feel how I think a lot of people probably feel in this game. Oh, I thought that one was shiny for a second there. Wait. Wait. It is, right? Oh god, how many Petalils have I missed? The fact that a lot of Pokemon are huntable fully evolved in Scarlet Violet is something I didn't fully think about until Kitakami, and so I decided to make more of an effort to catch Pokemon without the need to evolve here. Just like this Gyarados, which we had to use a flying sandwich for. Definitely not using this as an excuse to show you another Pokemon Legends Arceus clip. I wonder what the next video might be. Back to basics of running aimlessly around a good spawn area for what was a surprisingly hard to spot Surskit, and yet another top tier spot for our second Fomantis. I appreciate you watching the YouTube. My YouTube channel has been a little bit quiet recently in terms of stop moving. I'm sorry, it looked so shiny that I had to run it down and double check, you know? Wait, is that one actually shiny? Let's go. Oh my god, let's go. There are only 3 Pokemon which are exclusive to each version of the DLC. In Violet, we've already caught Morpeko, and I was able to add Apom and Ambipom to the collection with a single outbreak. Cramorant, Gligar, and Gliscor are the Scarlet exclusives, but they can be a problem for future Ryan. Right now, I've got a shiny Staraptor from an outbreak and Greedent while I was just testing spawns. Stream title updated to 137? Is that correct? Are we at 137 and I've updated the counter too much? No, I think we're at 138. I think we're at 138. Okay. Is that shiny? Wait, that is shiny, right? I didn't even do the outbreak. I was just testing it. Now, this is the part where the section title will really start to make sense. I realized that there is a staircase by the crystal pool all the way at the top of the map that has no Pokemon spawn locations. Why? I have no idea, but it makes a subset of Pokemon very easy to shiny hunt. What's the method, I hear you ask? Well, we call it the Shiny Arch. Is trying to find a shiny Chimecho getting you down? Well, look no further than a precariously placed picnic table. Try not to fall down the stairs behind you as you gaze through an archway, and what do you know? There's that Pokemon you've been looking for! 15 of them! And depending on the type of sandwich you eat, you can even use this location for many other spawns too! Subscribe today and you'll get your shiny chimney in no time! This genuinely took 5 minutes, and we did this method for Bronzor, Bronzong, Glimmet, and Glimora too. But this isn't the only creative spot we found in the DLC. After we completed the Mudbray line and picked up one of my favorite gimmicks of all time, a Convergent Tentacle. Nah, I'm not gonna make you sit through back-to-back infomercials, but there's a very small area you can set up a table to reset spawns in this cave in the center of the map. It's too close to spawn any Pokemon around you when you do that, so you have to run to another specific location. Gibble? Gibble for Gabite? And once again, it's absolutely usable for a whole host of other Pokemon too. The next Pokemon is a Growlithe by an apple orchard. I really like mentioning things that seem pointless, but they're going to be important soon. Apple orchard. And then caught one of the fastest shinies of my life. And then what did I do on the next day? Oh, I went to Halloween party, then I went to Fallout Boy. I got a Fallout Boy t-shirt. It was really cool. So this year I've seen Paramore and Fallout Boy. It's like I'm back in high school. I've been having the best time. The best time. You're working, so you gotta go, but wanted to send shiny. Look, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Oh my god, this is a great area for this. Wait, is that one just shiny? Wait, there's no way. The next Hatena wasn't quite as fast, but I'm saving Hatterene for a very fun reason. Instead, look, we're back at the orchard, but this shiny apple isn't actually what we're here for, even though it did save itself, in my opinion, by having a mark I've never seen before. No, instead, we're here for this guy. Or this guy. I talked a little bit earlier about how Kitakami has some really cool fully evolved Pokemon on the overworld. And this tiny little orchard is actually the only spawn location for both Flapple and Appleton. Pokemon most people don't even know spawn here at all, so I've made it my mission to get one of them for this dex. The same sandwich as the apple? It definitely depends on the month. In the month of September/October, those 2 months, no. Twitch has been better. But that's because we did a subathon, right? And the oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Let's go! That is so cool. That is so cool, man. Oh my god, I can't believe it. Yet another tricky picnic spot, fully making use of the fact this game sometimes doesn't care if you make a picnic on a hill, led to a shiny Sneasel. And I should not be neglecting this cave as much as I am. I want to show you a little more of our shiny Glimmet though. I couldn't remember what the shiny looked like, and because we'd caught it in Paldea, I simply just checked the dex. Yeah, the shiny is easy to see. It's blue and like teal. That's like that's crazy. That's gonna be an easy one to spot. Okay. Oh. You can't write this better, man. You cannot write a better script than that. Chat, I've got a question for you. Did I predict Pokemon Legends ZA? I decided to try and get another Dynamo crossed off the list in the Ice Cave and, well, just listen. The nod to PLA in this DLC? Oh, for sure, yeah. And I think the nod to Pokemon Legends Arceus in this DLC has given me the false hope that there's going to be another Pokemon Legends game on the near horizon. You know? It's like, as soon as they addressed it, I was like, oh my god. They've acknowledged that Pokemon Legends Arceus existed. They've given us a shiny Goomy. Let's go. They've given us a shiny Goomy. Oh my god, let's get it. Yeah. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, you're right. No, I didn't. But it's weird that the Gen 6 dragon spawned while I was talking about it. The signs were there. I should have known. I've never had an average encounter with Grimmsnarl. In Paldea, I caught it in a raid den, which is 1 in 4,103, by the way. And in Kitakami, I caught not 1, but 2 on the overworld. We should run over here and continue with our Impidimp/Morgrem hunt. No way. No way. Absolutely no way. And as you just heard in that clip, I was actually on my way to hunt for Morgrem, and I'm happy to inform you that just 10 minutes later, I managed to find an Impidimp to evolve into one. This section is a long one, I know, but we're coming to the end of it. My next creative solution was Poliwhirl instead of Poliwag so that I didn't have to strain my eyes anymore to get one of the best looking shinies from Gen 2. I saved Hatterene earlier for this very moment. A Hatterene outbreak popped up in the forest and the shiny Zoom might be the most photogenic in the DLC. And speaking of Zoom, we were flying at this point, but a big time sink was looming on the horizon. That one's shiny. Okay, well, there you go. That's how it works. Okay, chat. Okay, so there is a chance that this is going to be a Salazzle. There is also a chance that this is going to be just a duplicate. Come on, please. Come on, please. Come on. Let's go. Wait, for real? And weirdly enough, no, it wasn't Salandit. With no overworld Salazzle and Kitakami, this hunt had me worried, but the very first check came through for me. Shiny Shinx to evolve him to Luxray was the last Pokemon I caught before I finally got the Dynamo line covered. That's a shiny one. Let's go! Then it'll be a very low-level Altaria, under-leveled Altaria if you traded it across to the game. That's the only thing that I find appealing. That's one. That's one right there. No, let me at it. Let me go. Let's go. Hopefully those guys aren't back in the Blueberry Academy. But for now, we are finally done with this section. If you've been paying attention, then you might have noticed a problem that I've set up for myself. There is a cave in the middle of the map that works almost like an ice biome for Kitakami, and it is the only place in the game that you can catch these Pokemon. So far, we've caught these Pokemon. I've accidentally set up a shiny hunting purgatory without realizing it. Fortunately, though, we can use one of our game-changing shiny hunting methods for a few of these hunts. Running to the end of the tunnel resets all the spawns in the main area, and it's gonna be like the don't forget you're here forever about this cave, but it's gonna be do it for her, and it's a shiny a shiny Snorunt. What? Yeah. Oh, I thought it was a shiny for a second. That is a troll. Right there. I thought it was a shiny Goomy. Just for a second, I thought the Mienfoo. Come on, I can't be the only one who thought that, though. That yellow, it's so, like, shiny Goomy coded. That's shiny Goomy coded. That's a shiny Goomy right there. Let's go. Let's go! Okay, we moving, chat. We're moving. But even as good as it's going in the cave, my sanity can't handle being there non-stop, so I'm instead going to strain my eyes at an Arrokuda outbreak. I'm just kidding. You should know by now that I am much better at this game than that, and I snapped them both up in no time at all. Revisiting another of our niche shiny hunting spots also gave us the last Gibble we needed to get Garchomp, and please ignore the low poly Stantler performing a weird dance at this outbreak. Instead, just look at how green this one is. Okay, that's enough distraction. We still need 5 more Pokemon in the Ice Cave. Surely we won't be here long. 8 hours. 8. I can't tell you how bad that is for this game. And the whole time I was worried the curse of Pokemon spawning in the walls would come back to haunt me. Surely that can't be foreshadowing. I need another break. Last time getting 2 incredibly hard to spot fish did the trick, so what fish do we have left? Basculin is much harder than Arrokuda, but I'm gonna pop a Watering Counter Power Sandwich and try anyway. I'd say it's alright, it's pretty solid. Is that a shiny one? It looks so green. Why did it look so green? It is shiny, right? Let's go! I think we should just like slowly loop around the edge. That one also looks shiny from here. Is it shiny? No, it's not. What? Okay, that's it. Now no more distractions. Mostly because the distractions we have left aren't actually easier than the cave, or they're in a completely different game. The odds have been heavily in our favor in the gender-based evolution department in the DLC. Not a single time have we needed to get an extra shiny for an Evo. To top it all off, even as it fell off the map to try and get away, the next Snorunt was also female, meaning we would have been fine anyway. The final shiny was Sneasel for Weavile, and it was waiting patiently for us right at the end of a sandwich. No new section title just yet though. Still in a cave, albeit a different one. I managed to find the last Dunsparce we needed, and unfortunately it's yet another 2-segment Dunsparce, but I'll get that 3 segments someday. Let's just talk about how the DLC works for Scarlet and Violet as individual versions. Each different game has 3, that's right, just 3 version-exclusive Pokemon per DLC. And if you want to hunt the Pokemon in the other game, you have to buy the DLC again. I can't believe I've let them do this to me. These are going to be my most expensive shiny Pokemon ever. We've already beaten the game in Scarlet, but I don't really fancy catching 400 Pokemon again. So here we're going to be working without the shiny charm and using Sparkle power with no charm as the compromise again. Gligar and Gliscor are some of my favorite Pokemon ever. I even have a Gliscor plush, and it really took that to heart, and both Gligar shined for us in 5 minutes. Cramorant was a different story, but it still only took 2 hours, meaning I spent $80 for 2 hours and 5 minutes of gameplay. That's fine, I'm sure it'll be useful in DLC too, right? It also got dangerously close to falling off the edge of a waterfall. I wonder if it would have fallen out of the map if it fell off the cliff. That was a segue, and a very bad one, but look at this. When I loaded back into Pokemon Violet to hunt the last Pokemon we need, I fell through the map. Time for some science. Where can we go? Seems we're quite limited in the areas we can explore, but there's a lot of flat ground, and it turns out we can even set up a picnic and make a sandwich, which got me thinking. It's time for revenge. I think we should maybe just see if we can get a Kingambit outbreak here, though. Because if we can, then this suddenly becomes... Oh my god, this is perfect. Oh my god. That's exactly what I wanted to happen. Let's go. I'm in the walls this time. I did not see this coming. I was not ready for that plot twist. Pokemon 190 was Kricketune. And 192 was Kricketot. But what's in the middle, I hear you asking? Well, let me tell you. As I was hunting Petalil for Lilligant, I decided to pause the game and take a break. But when you pause the game, Pokemon keep moving, and if they move out of range, another Pokemon will spawn. While I was gone, a shiny Petalil spawned, which started the timer to see if I could be back before it despawned. I wasn't. It ran off the screen. But then it ran back on the screen. There's still a chance. The issue is I've been picnic resetting and I have no idea that the shiny is there. Twitch chat hasn't even spotted it. We've got to hope that instead of just resetting the game with muscle memory like I did with Vespiquen, I can scan the screen to spot it first. Hello, I'm back. Sorry, I was gone for a while. What are we counting down for and why? What are we counting down for and why? Hey, so Bread, I think that one of those very common misconceptions with streamers is that they need to be on stream all day, every day. And I think that one of the things that is very important is taking healthy breaks. Going to the bathroom is not the only thing that I do if I take a break from stream. I might go and sit with my dogs. I might have a little biscuit or something. I might take a quick snack break. Wait. I thought that was... Wait. What just happened? This was one of the craziest shiny hunting moments I had, and it's not the last time that you'll see an AFK shiny, but you'll have to wait until deep into DLC 2 for that. We're down to the last 3. An overworld Appleton like the Flapple would be incredible, but this shiny Applin to evolve will absolutely do the trick this late in the challenge. Next up, I've saved one of my favorite shinies till last in Trevenant that we got in an outbreak, and finally, Snorlax. In Paldea, I decided to do an overworld hunt of Spiritomb to complete the dex, and very early in Kitakami, I realized the overworld Snorlax would be able to do the same trick. The issue is, I found a Munchlax before I could set up the reset, and with only 7 days until DLC 2, I decided to just take it and run with it so that I could be finished in time. Maybe I'll come back for that soft reset one day. But as you just heard, I only had 7 days off before it was off to Unova. This is the DLC that saved the game for me. Gone are the days of the Kitakami music. In Unova, we are going to thrive. There are so many incredible shiny Pokemon in this DLC with some really cool fully evolved Pokemon. I don't even know where to start. Before I do any of the story, I've decided to embrace my title of Shiny Living Dex guy and get a shiny in every one of the new biomes. All I have to do is thoroughly explore each area, pick a target, and move on. Oh my god, families of Alola Mola. Families of them. That's insane. This is not the first shiny that I wanted for this DLC, but at least it's out of the way early. I refuse to let the next one be a repeat from Paldea. I've spotted a certain goofy looking tree hanging out in the ocean biome. I just think it's really, really fun to search for Pokemon you've never seen shiny before. Oh my god. Oh my god. Let's go! My absolute favorite thing about this Pokemon is that whenever there's an opportunity to do it, they choose to make its head go out of frame. This DLC is also where fully evolved spawns really come into their own. Shiny number 3 of our first day was in the Savannah biome, and it was everybody's favorite shout for a new Mega Evolution deserving Pokemon, Flygon. This DLC has also added 2 new evolutions. Dipplin will now be able to evolve into Hydrapple, and Duraludon will turn into a Bridge as staple remover. Either way, we caught a Duraludon as shiny number 4 and closed out the last of the biomes in the new DLC. I'm not going to evolve it just yet, though, just in case there's an overworld spawn, you know? I won't forget. I promise. You'll notice that our subathon is still going at this point, so you can see just how ridiculous my luck has been so far on day 1. And honestly, the luck didn't stop. While exploring the map still, I walked out of a cave straight into a Milcery outbreak that had a shiny in it, and less than an hour later I was rewarded for walking around the map a second time, and just 15 minutes after that. Okay, just a little family of Sandshrew Forers here as well. Very nice. Oh, wait. What? At this point, I'm starting to seriously wonder if I can set a new record for the amount of shinies I found in one day. We're already at 7, and shiny Litleo is number 8. Before we carry on, I just once again want to complain that some shiny Pokemon look like every other Pokemon in the area. That Litleo at a glance, it could have been a Deerling. It could have been a Trapinch, kinda. I swear they do this on purpose. It happens way too often to be a coincidence. But let's not complain too much, because I am loving the new DLC, and the Alolan forms seem to love me. I also adore the way that Grimer and Alolan Grimer palette swap between their normal and shiny forms. Please let me hunt the Galarian birds. Oh, that's a lot of... Wait a second. Excuse me? Oh, that's a Blossom right there. Oh, that's an incredible shiny. Excuse me, I ran into the wrong one. It doesn't know where to go. It's like, excuse me, where am I going? Left, right? 1 second. Come back! Come back, Blossom, come back! That's a really good shiny. 10 shinies in one day. And the observant amongst you will also have noticed one of the most exciting things that came from this DLC. Grookey. Not Grookey specifically, but the fact that every single starter from Generation 1 all the way through to Generation 8 are available on the overworld of the DLC if you purchase a biome upgrade with the blueberry points. And I decided to go with the ocean biome upgrade first because, let's be honest, how can I say no to Grookey, the starter that brought me back into Pokemon? Less than 1 hour later and still on day 1, I finally got my shiny Grookey, and only 5 years after I first wanted to get one. A Sword and Shield living shiny dex would be a huge task, but imagine a video where I caught every shiny Pokemon on the Nintendo Switch. Okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We've still got a long way to go in Scarlet Violet. And if I did every game on the Switch, I'd still need to do games like BDSP. Who's going to be crazy enough to do that? No. For now, look. Shiny Scizor. Hang on, the tree was in the way. Shiny Scizor. We love avoiding trade evos in this house. My last shiny of day 1 actually made me a hero, not gonna lie. We saved her from drowning. 13 shinies in a day is insane, but there's something crazier on the way. You might have done the maths on this when I mentioned it, but when you're doing a living shiny dex, having access to all of the starters quickly becomes a problem. 9 generations, 3 starters per generation, 3 evos per starter. That leaves us at 81 Pokemon total. Thankfully, we can drop 9 from that number because we already have the Paldean trio, and they don't appear again in this dex. We can also drop Grookey from the list because we caught one on day 1. That leaves us with just 71 shiny starters that we still need to catch. 71, or nearly 33% of the remaining dex. Huh. I spent the majority of my morning collecting points to trade in for biome upgrades so that even if we aren't looking for them, we might stumble across a shiny starter. And while I was completing a task to knock out a certain amount of Pokemon, Is that stupid? It's a little bit stupid, right? A little bit stupid. Wait, really? What? What do you mean? This might genuinely be the first subtle shiny I didn't see but still managed to stumble into. What's not subtle though is shiny Lapras, which looks incredible in this game. And with every biome upgrade purchased, there's a chance to hunt for every starter on the overworld. They can even spawn in outbreaks, but for now I'm sticking to my tried and true shiny roaming method and looking for Rowlet. Mission failed successfully, I guess? Let's mix it up and get a Squirtle. It was so good. Wait, are you kidding me? Okay, this is getting silly now. Let's go somewhere that means we basically can't phase. There's a little cave right here on the map that has a Terra Metang in it. If you clear the Metang, there's just enough space to put down a picnic table where you can reset the spawns and see lots of Torchic. And we got a shiny Execute with a terrible pun too. Your items got doubled? That's exciting. That's exciting! That's a shiny Execute! That's exciting! My game crashed. For the first time since the base game. It can't have been the bad joke, right? I thought it was a cracking... I never learn. Sadly, though, this meant that I lost both Torchic and the egg, but at least we know which one came first. I'm not gonna let this setback affect me, though. I'm simply gonna shiny hunt better than ever before. 2 quick Sobble and we are so back. I've gotta say, though, I'm not sure how I feel about Drizzle's shiny. You know, I think I just don't like Drizzle. And the starters didn't stop there. I got the best Gen 3 starter and the red tail really pops in this game. Then on the way back, I'm looking for a Chespin. I get a shiny Dealing. And the Chespin shined not long after that. I really love autumnal grass shinies. Following the time between shinies is gonna get hard because the subathon burst back into life here. It definitely took way longer than 1 minute to find this Gloom while looking for Chikorita spawns. It probably took that long to fast travel. Every single shiny you see in this section is me making an attempt to cut down the amount of shiny starters we need. But sometimes you're just gonna see other Pokemon, just like this Slackoff, which I had very strong opinions about evolving. So this is a Pokemon you shouldn't evolve. Because this is a terrible shiny. Look, listen, it's not the worst, but Slackoff is so much better. I've been hunting Mudkip since day one. I have used many sandwiches, whole loaves of bread gone to waste, and hours passed me by, all for the first shiny of the day to be Mudkip, right at the entrance to the cave. It's crazy how quickly Scarlet Violet conditions you to expect quick shinies. I'm genuinely looking forward to branching out into other games in the future. Next up are a couple of my favorite shinies in the entire dex. Yeah. And I'm also not going to look for the eggs. I'm just going to look for the Slowpoke. I don't care about the egg. Wow. Wow. Oh my god. That is a noticeable shot. I'm sorry. I ran over to it. Are you ready? I'm gonna do you an impression of what just happened. I don't pay enough attention to Pokemon typings. Wait. Excuse me? Wait. Save the game, save the game. There's 2 of them. There's 2 of them. I don't know if you can see this, chat. There are 2 of them. There's another one over there. There are 2. We've got one here, and we've got another one far away. So we've saved the game so that we can try and get them both. Just try not to move too far away. There we go. There's one. And then we look behind us. We see if it's still there. It is still there, chat. It's still there. We have absolutely crushed that. We have absolutely crushed that. 2 of 2. Let's go! Let me tell you, Malamar is a weird evolution at the best of times, but evolving it on stream when the footage can only be captured with the Switch docked is something else entirely. This shiny Gramble paved the way for us to really chase the thrown ball that is shiny starters in earnest, and the first one was the ball-shaped Rowlet. This might need a montage. It's kind of a lot, ain't it? And there's still so many more to go. We did manage to break up a few of those with some of the shinies though. Whilst looking for Trico, I touched down in the nature reserve and instantly found a shiny Swablu. And shiny number 39 was Cottony, which is so vibrant. And the only other gap in the series of starters was Porygon, which recently became my favorite shiny when I found it in a space-time distortion, which you'll see if this video gets enough likes. I've decided to run this section of the video until we get to 84 total shinies. That way we can see how many out of the 71 starters we still need we caught during this section. With that being said, the ridiculously hard to see Skarmory was number 48, the ridiculously easy to see Excadrill brought us to 49, and the ridiculously located Golett rounded us out to 50. A big fear doing picnic resets is that Pokemon will walk off screen straight after spawning, just like this Piplup nearly did. Thankfully, I was able to react faster than when I failed a Glaceon like this and evolved it into Prinplup. I can't wait to see Empoleon in this game because the metal texture will probably make it look really good. The lighting in Scarlet Violet is bad. It can make Pokemon look worse. It can make a normal Pokemon look shiny, but in the Terarium, a miracle happened. After catching the shiny Squirtle, it was cool. It was a cool little thing. I've been in a Johnstone video. I've been in an A drive. Whoa! Whoa. Okay. Well then. Another Mudkip at the very start of a sandwich completed yet another evolution line, so I headed back to the beach to try and get my first ever Poplio. So that's also something that we've done. All right, here we go. Oh, wow. Okay, right, here we go. I'm stuck in the water. That looks so good in this game. Pokemon Legends Arceus is still my favorite Pokemon game at the time of recording this video, and one of the many reasons I like it so much is because of how good the Hisuian shinies are. The only bad thing about this DLC I found so far is that even though they have Braviary in the Terarium, it's not the Hisuian one. After finding a Blitzel in a bush, I once again showed my skills of spotting shiny Pokemon in water. That looked so different. No one loves me, fish fear me. Before catching Turtwig, which looks incredible in this game. We didn't know it at the time, but this location was going to completely change the way we understood shiny hunting in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. So late into the decks, in fact, that I barely benefit from the change at all. One thing I have really enjoyed about catching so many shiny starters is because historically they're so hard to obtain, I've not seen many of them before. I've never seen this shiny before. Oh, it's kind of sick, though. Yo, it's kind of good. It's wearing a hoodie. Oh my god, I actually really love this Pokemon. Chat, is that the first time I've ever seen Raboot ever? And using the rest of our fire and counter power sandwich, we managed to reclaim the Torchic we lost with the game crash. Having originally caught Slacking, fully evolved in Paldea, evolving a Slackoth into one felt a bit underwhelming, but it sure as hell knows how to pose. Beldum might have become one of my favorite shinies the second I found it, especially with the way that metal textures look in this game. Do you want them to keep the textures on Pokemon the way they did in this game, or do you want them to go back to like the Sword and Shield style? A lot of Pokemon can be isolated by roaming with sandwiches or using outbreaks on the map, just like this Chinchou. But some Pokemon spawn exclusively in caves, and those are very hard to isolate. We found an insane spot, and once again I'm gonna have to ask, do you want to see a video that is the ultimate guide to shiny hunting in Scarlet and Violet? We're not just gonna be using this spot for Rotom either, but you'll see us here a lot more further down the line. A couple more catches led us to more evolutions, but this is the moment I've been waiting for the whole video. What you're going to see is the luckiest I've ever felt playing a Pokemon game. Though something's gone wrong somewhere. Actually, it does need to be 68. You're so right. You are so right. It does need to be 68. That is a great shiny. Let's go. Okay, let's get another one, chat, before we move somewhere else for a different fighting type. Oh my god. Are you for real? What? After catching 2 Tyrogue, I decided to move somewhere else and look for Scraggy with the rest of the sandwich. By the way, thank you for all of the follows today, folks. I appreciate it. Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay. And as I continued onwards towards Scraggy, not even 30 seconds later. What? Okay. Okay, yeah, cool. So I guess we're finishing the Tyrogue line today. That's right. I got the entire Tyrogue evolution line in a single sandwich. I even had enough time spare to get Scraggy's spawn location and pick up one of those too. And the luck doesn't even stop there. Oh no! If you don't know, to evolve Tyrogue into each of its 3 evolutions, it needs to have different stats. In order to become a Hitmonchan, it needs higher defense. Hitmonlee, higher attack. Hitmontop, it needs to be balanced. Balancing all of those stats is going to be a little bit of hard work, but just for fun, let's save the game and evolve all of our Tyrogues to see what they'd become without supplements. What have we got? Imagine Hitmontop straight away. Is that not meant to be really kind of tricky to do? This one is a Hitmonlee. Perfect. Just Hitmonchan and we've done it. Sometimes the game is just too easy. We didn't have to do anything at all. Even watching it back, I cannot believe how insane that was. The walking evolutions they added in the base game were quite possibly my least favorite evolution mechanics of all time. And that includes turning my Nintendo Switch upside down. Thankfully though, Rabsca is available on the overworld, so no walking around with it for me. After getting Poplio, one of the most underrated starter Pokemon of all time, I guess we have to. I think we have to. What else is ice here? Like, on the real, though, what else is ice in this hill? I'm glad you like the You Tried trophy. Chat, did you know you can get it on merch? Exclamation mark. Oh. Okay, job done. Cool. All right. And this isn't even the craziest shiny I've got without looking for it, but that's going to be very soon. For now, though, even more starters. And Chestnut fans, I'm sorry, but it is by far the worst final Evo starter, followed by an Oddish, which is really good in this game, and a Reclaim of Execute, which means we're no longer working at a net loss to that game crash. I followed that up with a Rhyhorn that tried its absolute best to escape by running away from me at full speed, and Numel in one of my favorite picnic isolation spots. And I'm rounding out this section with 2 shiny Trico. I don't know about you, but I'm really excited that there might be an opportunity to Mega Evolve these in the next game. So where does that leave us with the 81 reduced to 71 starter problem? We caught 33 out of 71. Even while most of my efforts were spent on starters, we didn't get half of them, with 39 left. Hope you like starter Pokemon because there are a lot more coming. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There you go. Not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah, somebody the other day was saying they had 16 Pokemon on screen, and I have no idea how, because even now, I'm still only ever seeing 15 at max. You know what I mean? Oh, speaking of shinies, though, that'll do, won't it? This is crazy. This is insane. Did you hear me counting to 15? That's going to be important in about 30 shinies from now, so get ready for that because it's crazy. For now, though, we picked up another couple of shiny starters, including Fennekin, which is one of my favorite shiny starters of all time. Not all of the starters in the DLC are easy to isolate. In fact, the issues mostly lie in the Generation 2 Pokemon. Chikorita has so many other grass types spawn around it that if we didn't have an outbreak, we'd have been seeing a lot of phases. Totodile has such a small spawn area in these muddy puddles filled with other water-type Pokemon that also makes it hard to hunt without outbreaks. But the outbreaks are even rarer than Eevees in Paldea. And Cyndaquil, which only spawns in this tiny cave and only when you're stood in a very precise location. After finding out just how bad Cyndaquil spawns were firsthand, I decided to take a quick break. And when I came back, Yeah, so you've all done a very good job coordinating. You've all done a very good job coordinating. Shiny Cubchoo. There is a shiny. Oh, there... Oh my god, there actually is. Oh my god. Wow. What? I found another shiny while I was AFK. I'm just too good at the game. What can I say? Minccino is one of the rarest shinies in Pokemon. Not this one. This one was really quick. But the Minccino Juniper shows you at the start of Generation 5 can actually be shiny. One of the coolest uncatchable shinies out there, if you ask me. A couple of Galarian starters completed another couple of evolution lines, and then we got another starter in our first Chimchar. Regular Diglett is hard to spot when you're just working with a blue nose, but a Lowland Diglett takes it one step further. And you might have noticed me using an extended version of that cave to isolate it too. I followed it up with something accidentally on theme, a Gen 1 regional form, and... Oh, it's cute! Oh, is it kind of fleshy though? Speaking of regions, I think that I'd probably rate DLC 1 and the Kitakami region as a solid 6 out of 10. The story felt pretty slow to me, but the contents of the story were generally good. I'm not a huge fan of false decisions you get offered in Pokemon games. Would you like to lie to Kieran? Would you like to not tell Kieran the truth? It's the same thing, and ultimately no matter what you choose, you end up with the same outcome. But there is a lot of little details that I thought were well thought out, and Ogerpon might be one of the best Pokemon we've had in years. I will say though, the lack of music variety in the overworld was unforgivable. You're annoyed and you're still working on getting your shiny charm. You went Masuda last night, did about 30 eggs, got bored. Yeah, it sucks. Sorry, chat. I think I saw one. I think I saw a shiny one. Okay, I'm kind of proud of that, actually. That was kind of hard to see. DLC 2 and the Unova region, I guess? That's a completely different story. The Terarium, incredible. The music, 10 out of 10 references to Gen 5 bops and variety around the map. The Pokeball Lotto makes rare Pokeballs accessible again. Group mini games, stellar crowns, a meal that gives you Sparkle Power Any, the Synchro Machine, the story, a goofy giraffe cloud looking fella, and even a Meloetta. Oh, and new evolutions, one of which I finally remembered to obtain here. There's even additional cutscenes hidden in Kitakami if you go back to the Crystal Pool that attempts to bring the whole story back together with variable timelines. Honestly, I found this DLC to be an easy 9 out of 10 for me, and it's reason enough to buy the DLC just by itself. A lot of Kanto Pokemon are green when they're shiny, and Tauros is no exception. Look at this thing. I'm not really sure how I feel about it, but I do know how I feel about a shiny Rufflet less than 10 minutes later. Esper is one of the few Pokemon I ever caught shiny in Pokemon Sword and Shield, and it's a very good shiny. So I was excited to see it again. Sword and Shield living shiny decks, anyone? Okay. Well, if we're going to do it, I don't have any time for legendary cat traits, especially when Master Balls are so easy to get in the Pokeball Lotto, especially when Metagross is such an incredible shiny too. And finally, this is the moment that shiny hunting in Scarlet and Violet kind of changed forever. When Scarlet and Violet first launched, we knew the spawn cap was 15 Pokemon, and we've been using that number to make sure we're using an optimized spot for picnic resets. But that's not strictly true. That's because shiny Pokemon don't count towards the spawn cap, and if one spawns before there are 15 Pokemon on screen, there can be 16 Pokemon on screen. We're counting 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah. 16 Pokemon. Crazy. Crazy. Oh my god, it's been like this all the way back in the Paldea decks, and I just didn't know. And it doesn't even stop at 1. It turns out there can be as many as 5 shinies on screen, maybe even more. This doesn't really seem important when Pokemon are easy to spot like those Voltorb. But if you have a Pokemon like Tandemaus, Slowpoke, Minior, if you see 16, you can save the game and check them all to find out which one of them is the shiny. Weirdly enough, just like last time I caught a Turtwig, the next Pokemon was Snivy, and following with another Pokemon that showed up in this section, I also picked up an Alolan Diglett to evolve into the lusciously locked Dugtrio. Things are starting to feel close to the end now. An Outbreak gave me both Electabuzz in record time, and another Outbreak couldn't hide a Seal from me, even though the Shiny's really hard to spot in Scarlet Violet lighting. Torchic and Litten showed up on the same Fire Sandwich to progress even more of the starter evolution lines, and I finally gave up on waiting for a Thunderstorm to hunt Cottony and Whimsicott with the Storm method, and I found out that Whimsicott's Shiny is so unique, I should have given up on waiting for a Storm so much sooner. Over the next 8 hours, more and more Pokemon got checked off the list, dragging me closer and closer to the end of not just the entire Scarlet Violet living dex, but also the subathon that had been going on in the background the whole video. And before I knew it, we were only 100 away from finishing the second DLC. And wow, Rhianoclus Shiny is so cool. We only have 100 Pokemon to go. Do you remember what Pokemon number 100 was in Paldea? I think it's kinda poetic that with 100 left, we caught the returning Zangoose in Blueberry Academy. Next up, I caught a shiny Scyther, but this Scyther is special. I caught it in a sport ball, just like I would have done in the bug catching contest years ago. Silly looking right now. God, that one looks blue to me. Oh, it is. Oh my god, I'm so good at this game! What? Are you kidding me? Bro! Okay, Ryan, calm down, bud. That giraffe rig wasn't that good of a spot. Remember the subathon that's coming to an end? Well, as we caught Crabrawler and Froakie to evolve into Frogadier, yeah, never mind. This is the check that should have had a giraffe rig reaction, by the way. Have I done something? No, wait. Yeah, it is, right? So I'll probably see a lot of Slowpokes. Okay, so the idea with this one, obviously we have to check the... Wait, is that one actually shiny? I couldn't tell. I think it is, you know. I love the way that every form of Oricorio is available in the overworld across base game and both DLCs, and I think I found a perfect reset spot for a pink one. Honestly, it's kind of tempting to just do a picnic reset right here and see how it works. You know? Just make sure there's no shiny Oricorios first. Wow. Wow. That is an incredible shiny, by the way. After that, it was back at it again with my new favorite shiny hunting spot, but this is where I found out that as good as it is for isolating spawns, you've still got to be careful of the ever-present lighting issues in Scarlet and Violet. I used my Tyrogue spot to catch not one, but 2 Alolan Geodude to finish the evolution line, and then I caught a Litleo whilst looking for a Fennekin. Now, I did evolve this Litleo into Pyroar, but there's a static Pyroar overlooking the land in a very Lion King kind of way, and if it's shiny huntable, I think that's one of the coolest shiny hunts available in Scarlet Violet. Magpie finishes another evolution line, Numel finishes another, and at great risk of a duplicate camel, Torkoal filled yet another spot in the dex. Finishing all these evolution lines got me motivated to head back to my favorite cave and finish the hardest hunt we had in there, Gothita. But after so much luck getting the first contact lens shiny, I decided to get another. Wow. Oh my god. Oh my god. We actually got the whole evolution line as themselves. Oh, I'm so happy about that. After seeing Sandal shine, I was hoping I'd be able to follow it up with a Crocodile overworld shiny, but I will absolutely settle for Crocorock to round out the line's dex entries. And the evolution lines kept flying by, literally flying in this case. Doduo evolved into Dodrio, and then a couple of Vullaby allowed an evolution into Mandibuzz. And if you'll allow me to jump forward a little in the same day, a couple of Fletchling finished yet another flying evolution line too. So yeah, Quillfish, and this. And Muck, sorry, and Muck. I think Greninja's oh my god. Wow. Oh my god. Wow. The list you just heard me describing? I realized there's not a lot of overworld dark-type Pokemon spawns left, and in a perfect world, catching a Alolan Muck here would mean I would have gone over to catch Quillfish to evolve into Overquill, but as usual, I got distracted. Instead, I got our first Magnemite and our second Joltik, and then found my first Minior outbreak since we discovered the 16 method. After counting to 16, I went checking the Pokemon that had spawned, and the method works! I would absolutely recommend using this to catch Minior, because there's literally no way to tell if it's shiny from the overworld otherwise. Bruxish filled in the last Pokemon in the gap between Vullaby and Fletchinder, and the last shiny of a truly insane day was Froakie to evolve through to Greninja, which I named in honor of the occasion. Every deck so far, I've introduced you to a brand new shiny hunting product with an infomercial. And this might be the most effective one so far.
Is not finding shiny Pokemon getting you down? Are your culinary skills mocked as you waste your herbs with no results? Look no further than the shiny bridge. For just 2 Herba Mystica, you can make your shiny woes disappear. Just reset the spawns using the tunnel every 15 seconds, and by Jove, I think he's got it. He really increased his shiny odds by using the product that should be in every household, the shiny bridge. Chances for shiny Pokemon are not increased, results may vary.
I'm not kidding when I say this is the best one yet. You don't have to wait around for weather like the storm method. You don't even have to picnic reset like you do at the top of Kitakami. I even used it in PM7's world record shiny hunting event. I wish I had known about this sooner for all the other Pokemon it applies to, but it made both of these Rhyhorn an absolute joke to find. You know what? Yeah. No, that's too easy for me. No more shiny bridge until the end of the challenge. I think it's been very, very good. Oh, well, there's one. Hang on. Oh my god, I almost missed that. That's a great shiny, though. Oh my god. I love that. That's such a nice shade of pink. Oh my god. And look at his eyes. This was a case of me not knowing what a shiny looks like when I find it. It didn't apply to Bulbasaur when I evolved it into Ivysaur, but it did apply when evolving Solosis into Duosion. Having seen how good Reuniclus is, needless to say, I was pretty excited about this Pokemon. I actually don't know what Duosion looks like. I caught a Solosis because I was so worried I would miss a Duosion. I'm really glad I caught a Solosis because that shiny sucks in this game. Oh my god, what? Since this DLC launched, I made the mistake of calling Girafarig a horse, and since then, the Pokemon has become a mascot of my Twitch stream, so watching these clips back, it's really nice to see how excited I was to see this shiny and evolve it into an even bigger horse. All right, chat, are you ready for the most disgusting thing ever? Yep, that's it. Watch its little hand mouths. Look at this. Look at it. Oh, I hate the way that it just opens. Oh, I hate it. I hate it so much. I hate it so much. I often like to bounce between outbreaks and encounter hunting in this game because otherwise I would keep losing my mind from the monotony, even though I'd meant to leave it back in Kitakami. But I haven't seen an Oshawott outbreak yet, and any attempts to hunt it so far have given me nothing but duplicates, so I decided to lock in and get all 3. I caught 1, I caught 2, I caught 3. Wait, that's not an Oshawott. Turns out that where I was resetting wasn't perfect for the Oshawott outbreak, and I accidentally spawned a shiny Finian while hunting, which we still need for the dex. Mission once again failed successfully. We love to see it. And I did still manage to catch the last Oshawott to finish yet another evolution line. And here is where we hit the bulk of the lines we have left, specifically the starters. I recently found out that Venusaur hops like a frog. It doesn't plod along like a big dinosaur like I always thought, and I hated that news. And then I found out that Fennekin is an insanely underrated line of shinies. Why aren't more people talking about this? After that, it was the last Torchic we needed in order to evolve into Blaziken, meaning it took until about 180 shinies to truly recover from losing one to a crash. Next up was another water starter outbreak that popped up whilst looking for Totodile, and I caught both remaining Squirtle and evolved them through to finish the line. With 182 shinies caught, another era of the dex came to a close. There's a random scattering of Pokemon to clean up before we can get into the home straight here. A lot of them are returning Pokemon from Paldea, just like this little tea set that we managed to complete, and weirdly enough, these were actually the last ghosts we needed in the Terarium too. And Chansey, which for some reason always brings the worst possible clips. I stand on the D until I A-go. Oh, shiny Chansey! Oh, I don't like that clip. That's a terrible clip. I feel like we should... Can we have a do-over? Do we just reload the game, pretend like we've seen it for the first time? Right? Oh, God. That was a good block as well, actually. Let's just evolve it into Blissey and move on to one of the best clips by contrast. I'm serious. Oh my god. Okay, well, that worked. There's 2 of them. There's literally 2 of them. They spawned right next to each other. What an incredible shiny, first of all. Second of all, let's go, 2 of them. And the good clips don't stop there. I found an incredible isolation spot that with the right spacing and auto battling can almost be an AFK spawn to the same effect as the Applin tree and the Tag Tree Thicket. It also spawns the whole Dynamo line, and I've got to be honest, finding Electros on the overworld like this saved so much of my sanity versus having to get an extra Dynamo. Another incredible spot led to Tentacool to evolve into Tentacruel, and there is no risk of failing shinies here. I have never failed a shiny here before. I did not despawn a shiny here prior to this. Turn the clip off. Oi, turn the clip off. I'm sorry you had to see that. Also, I found out that it's way easier to look for Magnemite in the open air outside of the Charged Stone Cavern lighting, and very quickly found out that I was actually wrong and still almost got fooled by the lighting. Is that a shiny Magnemite? It is. Oh my god, I didn't think it was. I thought it was just the lighting. I thought it was just the lighting. Okay. And there it is. We've seen all these before. We've seen them before. It's still a good shiny, though. Rufflet into Braviary once again had me wishing they'd included all the Hisuian Pokemon as overworld spawns, especially fully evolved. Because as this Zeb Striker proved, fully evolved overworld spawns just hit different. Not to worry, though. There's an overworld Braviary in Pokemon Legends Arceus with my name on it. Back to trying to get Dynamo, and a Magneton spawned in the background, cleaning up yet another returning line, and I finally remembered there's a new Applin Evo, and this might be the most controversial catch of the challenge so far. That's because Applin doesn't actually spawn in the Blueberry Academy. Now, technically, I could have got an Applin whose home region was listed as the Terarium by hatching a shiny one, but you guys know me by now, and I always say the F in Masuda stands for fun. So if I can avoid it, I'm going to avoid it. So let me explain why returning to Kitakami is okay. It means I have to suffer through the song again. And look at this spot of the Pokemon! Is there a green one over there? There is, right? There is? Oh my god, I thought I saw it every single time. I really genuinely knew it was there already. Let's go! I've got to be honest, I love Hydrapple. I'm a big fan of a Pokemon that looks a little goofy. Seviper and Luvdisc removed 2 more of the Paldean Dex menaces, and then I decided to test my luck at a Horsey outbreak with very little time left on my stream for the day. Is that a shiny one? God, that is an awful shiny in this game. Oh my god, that shiny is awful in this game. I think I would like to get another one. But I'm not locked in, you know? I'm not fully locked into having to get another one. Wait, that's one, right? Okay. Yeah, I'm locked into getting another one, honestly. I think we'll just go until we find all of them. Can we also talk about how good Kingdra looks? My shout for Pokemon Legends ZA is a new Mega Evolution, Kingdra. What's yours? Trumbeak completed the Pikipek line, and the whole line has such great shinies. I feel like people overlook them as regional birds, even though my favorite will forever be Hoothoot. Next, I finally caught a shiny Smeargle, which you might see being transferred through future games at some point, as it's one of the best shiny hunting assistants of all time. I eventually remembered the one dark Pokemon we had left in the decks and picked up a Hisuian Quillfish. Once again, it's a shame that it's not available on the overworld. And then I found a Sleepy Venonat and evolved a Grookey into Rillaboom, meaning the only starter Evos we have left at this point are the difficult ones from Generation 2. The same grass sandwich gave me an Abomasnow, and guess what? We're in the home straight. But not really. I've only gone and done it again. Maybe one day I'll learn to not leave the hardest shinies till the end, but 3 times out of 3 so far, here we are. We still need both Dynamo and Electric, so we're going to use the spot we found that spawns a lot of Electros too and take the risk. The other thing we have to think about here is whether PLZA is shiny or not. Not something that's particularly easy to spot, by the way. Okay, so having a little look around, do we think any of these PLZA are looking shiny as well as PLZA? I would say no. But the one that's facing the other way? Yeah, no, I don't think so. But actually, maybe it is. I think the body's darker yellow. I think that's shiny. I don't know why. And I'm going to go over to it and I'm going to be like, no, it's not. But that is shiny, no? Okay, you're right. I saw it. But spot it I did, even though I wasn't sure of myself. What I was sure of myself with is Elekid, whose shiny looks like it's been dunked in highlighter ink. Beartick almost looked like it was just in the shadows, but being able to compare to so many normal ones at a well-placed outbreak helped a ton. Alolan Sandshrew is one of Pokemon Violet's version exclusives, and fortunately, I bought the DLC for Scarlet too, and that means I have a grand total of 4. At least it's one more than last time. A long while ago at this point, I mentioned Totodile, and this isn't actually a hunt I've been putting off, no. In fact, this outbreak has been so rare that I've been looking for it since literally the first day I could, and almost an hour every single day. And today we finally got our first Totodile outbreak, and I am not stopping until I get all 3 of them. Somehow I actually ended up seeing several phases during this shiny hunt, mostly Pokemon spawning on the lake shore, but I finally caught them all, although unfortunately we're not quite done with Gen 2 starters just yet. At some outbreaks, it's hard to find the ideal spot to look for shinies. This might work, this might work. We're trying to find a location that makes this Minun outbreak palatable. Okay. Too many Pokemon over the other side as well. I don't think there's ever going to be a perfect spot for this. So, like, where we were here was at least spawning a few more Minun. Oh, wait. Well, you know what? Sometimes you just take the win. Sometimes you just take the win, chat. I'm not going to complain about that at all. I was low-key hoping that these Cranidos would take a while, but when I finally swapped over to Scarlet, I caught them all in record time. Don't worry, the bad karma for hoping for a long shiny hunt's gonna come back to get me, okay? But not for this Araquanid. I don't like spiders, but this shiny is S tier, and Jupiter is just as good too. I will never top the double Relor spawn that I got in the base game for this Pokemon, but it was nice to finally see another one because I've been looking for it for a long time, and the constantly running into bugs hidden in bushes has been getting on my nerves for weeks. For this next hunt, I used Sparkle Power. Not because we need to. Shiny Pokemon spawn fast enough without them that I can hold on to what little sanity I have left. No, the reason is more because of the Encounter Power 3 that it gives. I started by getting Shieldon and Bastiodon out of the way in record time, and then I did a hunt that I thought I was going to have to soft reset in the same vein as Spiritomb. Not bad. It's good. It's a good spot. You can also do this by, like, going in circles around the big crystal, this big crystal here. Oh my god. Never mind. I was like, I bet the second I zoom in, that's going to happen. It did. Cleavor! Let's go! This is how you do, in my opinion, the hardest hunt in the DLC. You make a picnic in a spot it shouldn't be possible. You move to make the spawns possible. Wait. Repeat. The spawns are still terrible, and from time to time you need to hop down and move some Cyndaquil out of the way in order to make space for other ones. And sometimes when you move... Yeah, we're going to walk a little bit closer and see if any of those look shiny. No way. No way? Oh my god. Oh my god. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go! And the hard hunts don't stop there. When I finished the base game, I made the finale a 1 in 4096 overworld Spiritomb. But for this dex, I didn't have the mental capacity left to complete a finale like that. In Gen 5, there was a reward for the Pokédex, a shiny Haxorus in the Nature Preserve. And this small part of the terrarium is clearly based on the Nature Preserve, complete with a Stellar Spawn Haxorus, a Stellar Spawn that can be shiny. If you'd like to see me come back to the DLCs and hunt the Snorlax and the Haxorus, let me know in the comments. I really like how Drillbur is almost a palette swap with Excadrill, and I also really love this silly reset spot I found for a Piplup outbreak. When I went to evolve the Piplup though... Wait, Wait, is that a shiny Venonat in the background? Chat, wait, buddy, wait, what? Wait. Oh my god. Wait. Oh, dude, the shiny looks sick. Look at all of the metal. That looks awesome. Oh, I really thought that the trident was going to be metal. I guess it's all beak. I didn't think textures would have me thinking so much about Pokemon anatomy. With so few left, my shiny hunting ascended. I'm seeing Tynamo on the surface of water with no hassle at all. Cyndaquils are waddling into shot to make sure I don't miss them. Shiny Snubbull, which is a very unique shiny, spawned on my first picnic reset, and one of my favorite Gen 4 Pokemon spawned the second I needed it the most. I need a break from this hunt, or I will lose my tiny little mind. Okay, never mind. Hey, Luminion. Let's go. But with just 5 Pokemon left, both Alola and Vulpix only took 12 minutes too. Now, that does mean that I spent 16 minutes of shiny hunting and caught every version exclusive for the Indigo Disc and Scarlet. It's not great value for money. No, the long shiny hunt karma was for Cyndaquil. I've been hunting this on and off since we caught the last Cyndaquil 10 hours ago. That's 20 Encounter Power 2 sandwiches. I know that's not a long time in the grand scheme of shiny hunting, but let me tell you, with the light at the end of the deck so close, it felt like an eternity. As the sun set on the terrarium and the challenge, I made sure the penultimate Pokemon was Fracture to honor the initial intent of the finale before catching the only Pokemon I have left. To catch every Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet, I caught 392 Pokemon in the base game, 195 in DLC 1, and 235 in DLC 2. That's a staggering 822 Pokemon in total, and over 600 unique shinies. And for some reason, the last one is Vileplume. Oh, I didn't realize there was a source book there. Sorry, source book. Oh my god, and it stood on a rock. Oh my god. Hello, Vileplume. Hello, Vileplume. Let me get to it. Help. Help, I can't climb. Hang on. Hang on. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's over. And in true me style, I made sure to catch my last shiny at a quick ball. Thank you so much for watching this series. I've come up with an insane idea that it might just be doable to catch every shiny Pokemon on the Nintendo Switch. So if you'd like to see that, I'm gonna ask for 500 likes instead of 100 this time. And make sure to like and subscribe here and follow me on my Twitch channel if you want to see all of the shinies caught live. See you in the next one.